That's a very important point to understand. Even a mushrik, a polytheist, realizes that in the end, only Allah can help him today. Right? So he got some of his generals and his commanders together. He said, look, we've made all this way up here. Yeah, let's just go back to Yemen. We're good. We had a point. And they were like, what? Like, we came all this way, and if we don't destroy the Kaaba, then what was this all for? And they encouraged him until he was like, okay, fine. And that's a very important point here. Many times, it's not the person, but the people around that person that cause the fitna. A lot of times, it's not a king, it's not a president, it's not the prime minister, it's the people around him that give him bad advice. And that's why you should always surround yourself with good people. People of taqwa, people of intelligence. They say a wise enemy is better than a foolish friend. So here, unfortunately, due to this bad advice, Abraha decided we're going to attack. On the other hand, the Quraysh, they took their families, they took them out. And it's very interesting. The dua, the supplications made by the leaders of the Quraysh during that time before the attack are documented. So if you go to books of Tariq, books of history, the Arab had recorded what dua, what supplication did the leaders make. And I went through them. And what's interesting is not a single one of them was made to an idol. Like nobody said in those dua, oh Lat help us, oh Uzza help us, oh Manat help us. No. Every dua was made to none but Allah. Even though they were mushrikeen. They were worshipping the idols. They were making that sujood to the idols, and they were asking of the idols. But when the real hardship hit, they made dua to none but Allah. And that's a very important point to understand. Even a mushrik, a polytheist, realizes that in the end, only Allah can help them. I was on a plane once with an atheist, and I was dressed kind of like this. And he started to kind of mock me. Oh, are you one of those Muslim guys? You believe in a big guy in the sky, this. So I started giving him da'wah. And he was like, I don't believe in God. I don't believe there's no such thing. And this. It's all fiction and this. And then the plane shook. And when it shook, he was like, oh God, oh God. I was like, wait, oh who? I thought you didn't believe in God. He's like, not now. Oh God. When the plane shakes, there's no atheist anymore, right? Even if you look at Christians and stuff, a lot of times they're like, Jesus, and then something really happened, they're like, oh God. So you realize in the time of hardship that Tawheed comes out of people. So, anyway, the Quraysh, they made their adhkar, they made their dua, they made their supplications, they left outside. Mecca is empty. Now the day of the battle begins. And understand that from Yemen, all this way, those elephants and those tanks of the time, those weapons were used. And when they fought all these other tribes, they used them. And they were just giving them the command, and upon the command, they would attack. And these elephants were trained to fight. They weren't just like walking through people, They would put weapons on them, they would have them, move around and sweep right, left, and destroy the armies. And they would have all kinds of any training how to attack an army. So the command is given, Mahmud, the elephant doesn't move. And this mentioned hadith. He doesn't move. And they are commanding him and he's not moving. And he sits. And very interestingly, as Imam al-Qurtubi, he mentions that as he sat, the other elephants followed him. They all sat. And when they would point the elephant towards Yemen, they would get up and run, walk fast. And when they would point them towards Sham, they would run. But right when they would point them towards Mecca, they would just sit. And it got to the point that they weren't just commanding them, they were whipping them, they were harming them. They took metal sticks and bars and they were hitting them. Al-Qurtubi even mentioned they would have a small axe and they would be hitting it on the head to make them go. And he said, until this time, just a command, they would attack. And now with all of this, they didn't attack. And that's the power of Allah. It's not that the elephant wasn't trained, he fought the whole way up. It's not that he didn't obey commands, he obeyed. But when the power of Allah is there, everything is abd of Allah. Every power is for Allah. We just don't realize it. This is the test we're in. But the reality is every tree, every bullet, every bomb is under the command of Allah. We are in a test. But if Allah orders it, nothing can move. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. How many of you actually know the meaning of this? It's not something you say when you get angry. You know, in like a Desi community, if something bad, la hawla wa la quwwata. They don't even finish illa billah, which is so bad because la hawl, nothing can move. There is no movement. Nothing can affect. Wala quwwata, and there is no power illa billah, except with the power of Allah. So here, even after all of that, Mahmud did not move, and the elephants did not move, and the army was kind of in a stalemate. And then they saw from towards, as the ulama have said, towards from the direction of the Red Sea, flocks. They at first didn't realize what it is because it blackened the sky. But they saw what they had never seen before. Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu has authentic hadith where he says that the Arab had never seen such a thing and Abraha's army had never seen such a sight. First they thought there were clouds. They thought clouds were rolling in. That's how dark it made the sky. But then they realized they were birds. Birds. Like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala could have sent something huge, like a pride of lions, or something vicious, or hyenas, or whatever else, or but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent something so small. A bird. We got birds all the time in the sky. To show the power of Allah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the smallest of the armies of Allah, can destroy the superpowers of this world.